Paano ko tawagin si Rose? Pipibing! Yeah. We're gonna be starting in 1 minute. Mic test. 1, 2. Sinusundo lang ni Bing. Kamusta? Pwede na. Last meeting. Last meeting for the year. Ano na yun? Pero ano na yun? Last luncheon. Okie dokie, we're starting our program. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 17th luncheon meeting of the Rotary Club of Makati, Rotary Year 2025-2026. I am Nicky Ramos, and I will be the moderator for today. Come on, 23 days before Christmas. To officially start the meeting, may I call in the President, Eddie Galvez, to call the meeting to order.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Makati, I call this meeting to order.
Thank you, President Eddie. Now, may I call in Rotarian Mike Del Carmen to deliver the invocation.
May I request everyone to please settle down and invite you to stand up and open our hearts, put ourselves in the presence of God. Let us start with the blessing of the Word of God from the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 25. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. The verse reminds us that it is generosity, not greed, not to keep our wealth for ourselves, but be a channel of blessings to others. Humility, not pride, to show genuine care and sincerity to serve. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we worship you and glorify you through the works and intentions of our activity today. May you guide the Rotary Club of Makati, its leadership and membership through your path, that we will use our time, talent, and treasure to serve generously and with all humility among our fellow men, especially those who are in need. Patnubayan mo po ang aming pamahalaan, palawakin ang kabutihan at ibalik sa tama ang mga gumagawa ng kasamaan. Ligtas po ang aming bayan sa kahirapan at sa aming sambayanan, patuloy na manalig sa iyong anak na si Heso Kristo. We honor you, Father God, and we praise you in the name of your Son, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, with the power of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Mike. May I request everyone to put their right hand on their chest for the Philippine National Anthem, to be followed by the RC Makati hymn.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiging, helas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyang ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisikin, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang islang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang ituwin at araw niya kailan pang ay di magtitindig. Luman ang araw ng walhagin pagsingka, buhay ang langit sa piling ko. Ang inigaya ng barkay mga aking, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. We're the Rotary Club of Makati, and together we stand proud. We are leaders with integrity, always ready to serve humanity, always living by the four-way test, building goodwill and peace along the way. Giving hope to the world, we're the Rotary Club of Makati, prepared to aid our fellow men. As true Rotarians we live to lead. We believe in service above self, and this is why we succeed. We're the Rotary Club of Makati, and together we stand proud. We are leaders with integrity, always ready to serve humanity, always living by the four-way test, building goodwill and peace along the way, giving hope to the world. We're the Rotary Club of Makati, giving hope to the world. The Rotary Club of Makati.
Thank you. And so that we may commit to the four-way test to mind and heart, may I request you to repeat after me the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Would it be beneficial to all concerned? And the answer is yes. Thank you very much. We would like to acknowledge the visiting, you may see. We would like to acknowledge the visiting Rotarians and guests present today. Our dignitaries, DG Reggie Nolido. Here? The yellow. Okay. PDG, sorry, Reggie's not here today. PDG Tony Kila. PDG Sid Garcia. There you go. Our Ans, Tess Asioche. Tess. Vicky Cantada. Regina Colantes. There you go. Yvonne Kwan. Bryn Panlilio. There it is. Mita Sullivan. And Deli Yap. There you go. So our guest, Chris Edwards, our inductee member, and the spouse, Jennifer. Dr. Art Billit Puerte. Ida Joseph, guest of PP Bing. Joey Rafael, spouse of the speaker, Rosemary. Okay. Aliyah Rafael, daughter of our speaker. Raymond Barrio, guest of Director Andy, prospective member. Nina Magalona, Bayan Family Foundation. UGP Bobe and Ruti Vera, RCM Premier District. PPAJ Sembrano, RAC Makati. Sec Prince Paul, RAC Makati. Beatrice Abelia from RC Birac. Yeah, we did our relief operation there. And Notsi Lu, prospective member and son of Washington. And of course, Rachel Ann Harrison we have here. May I request the RC Makati Rotarians please stand as we greet our distinguished guest with our beloved welcome song. Who's gonna do our welcome?
Friends of Rotary, we greet you. All friends of Rotary, we greet you. We want you to feel that our friendship is real. We are glad you're here today. So take back home a bit of cheer. Regards from all the fellows here. And when once more you're here our door, come again, our friends, come again.
Thank you, everyone. Now it's time to acknowledge our Rotarians and aunts celebrating their birthdays and anniversaries. Of course, we're calling in, may I request our resident singer to lead us in singing the birthday and wedding anniversary song. Pipi Louise. Ano? Attendees natin. Okay. Birthdays, PDG Tony Kila, December 5. Wedding anniversaries, Manny and Rosa Padiernos, December 4. And Director Paolo and Christine Turno, December 8. Okay, now we request our resident singer. Yan natin, Mike. Pipi Louie, birthday singer. And Sunny. We have Sunny here. Another mic.
Sunny Jr., can you sing this with me, please? Where's Marcy? Okay.
Sunny.
It is your birthday and wedding day. Let's celebrate this important day. We greet you deep in our hearts still. A happy birthday, Gov Tony Kila, and happy wedding day. Happy birthday.
Wish. Thank you very much. Now, before we proceed to the next segment, may we call in PDG Tony Kila for the Paul Harris Fellow recognition to be followed by the presentation of our inductees.
Thank you, Nikki. I would like first to recognize our new major donor, past President Eddie Yap and former First and Deli Yap. Did you come here? And may I ask our President, Eddie Galvez, to present the crystal and the pin, major donor pin on Eddie Yap and Delhi. Where's Delhi? Where's Delhi Yap? Delhi. Ah? Ah, sila. For you, major donor. Congratulations, Eddie. I'll call on the Paul Harris Fellows. First, past President Tito Panlilio for his 9th Paul Harris Fellow. He will get 3 red stones. Tito? And Tito, one more, you became a major donor. Can I call also on past President Bing Matoto for his 7th Paul Harris Fellow? Paquito Dison for his 6th Paul Harris Fellow. Past President Fred Pascual for his 6th Paul Harris Fellow. We'll all, Tito, stay here. We'll have a group picture. And Freddy Placino for his 4th Paul Harris Fellow. And then may I recognize past President Louis Asioche for his new Paul Harris Fellow. He's already a major donor, level 1. And PDG Sid Garcia, major donor, level 3. He gave another Paul Harris Fellow.
Yung binigay pa rin po sa inyo, kasama na po sila. Parang 50, 55 yan. Siya pa rin.
Tuloy ko na, tuloy ko na. Tutuloy ko na. Okay, President Eddie, dito ka pa. President Eddie, diyan ka pa. Uy, diyan ka pa. We'll have present.
Si muna po si President.
Okay, upo daw muna si. Tatawagin ko muna yung doctor. I'll call our new members, number 38 and number 39 members who will be inducted today. May I call on Arthur Rico Villafuerte, classification general surgery, proposed by Rotarian Nikki Ramos. Nikki?
Yep.
Dito, dalaw ka na. Then, may call on Christopher Thomas Edwards, Chris, American Classification Financial Consulting, Proposer Secretary Philip Sullivan. And can I call on the Anne of Chris, Jennifer? Jennifer, can you join us here? Now, can I call on PTG Sid Garcia for the charging? Sid? Charging.
Oh, yeah. Yan, okay na.
Still weak. Hello. Okay. Fellow Rotarians, may I have your attention? I would like to invite you to welcome our new inductees. Okay. So today we welcome two exceptional professionals. Each of them bring a wealth of experience integrity, and the spirit of service. Christopher Chris Thomas Edwards. He has a classification of financial consulting. He comes to us through the sponsorship of Rotarian Philip Sullivan. Where's Philip? Chris brings along strong expertise in project management, financial advisory, and professional networking. Your skills have sharpened through the years as your leadership, as evidenced by your position in the company as Director for Southeast Asia. These strengths, Chris, hopefully will help our club increase our capacity to plan, execute, and scale up our meaningful service projects. And of course, I'd like to address Arthur Rico Ramos Art Villafuerte. Your classification is general surgery, and you are proposed by Rotarian Nikki Ramos. Nikki, there you are. Art is a practicing surgeon in Oriental Mindoro, a vocation rooted in healing and compassion. Your medical expertise and experience give humanitarian commitment to the invaluable service that we provide in our healthcare services, to our related programs, and our mission to uplift the communities we need. Can we just give them a big hand, our new members? So Chris and Art, this is how I charge you. As you join the Rotary Club of Makati, undoubtedly one of the best clubs in the Philippines. Well, we have to be humble, you know. So I charge you with the following: Chris and Art, participate actively, attend our meetings regularly. We meet at least once a week. Engage in fellowship. Join committees where your talents can be taken out, can be rooted out. You know, Rotary grows by a deeper and richer commitment every time you meet up with Rotarians and bond with fellow members. When you listen, you learn, you laugh, and work side by side by each Rotarian. Remember that Rotary is built up on friendship, strengthened by service, and service made by a joyful by friendship. I therefore encourage each of you to share your ideas, lend your hand, and embrace the opportunities to lead. Through your involvement, you not only enrich our club, you enrich yourselves with the priceless gift of Rotary. As we say, Rotary is a gift to the world. It is a chance to make a difference in the lives of others, especially those in need. And now, as the newest members of the Rotary Club of Makati, I ask you to affirm your commitment before all the members of this club, as we have committed to fulfill the mission of our founder, Paul Harris, which is what? To do good to the world. If you agree with my statements, response, please. I will. Will you do this by offering your vocational skills, your passion, and your heart to strengthen our projects and expand our reach? Please respond.
I will.
Louder.
I will.
Chris and Art, will you pledge to uphold the ideals of Rotary, to support the programs of our club, and to use your talents to do good to the world?
I will.
President Eddie, our new members are ready to be inducted. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good.
Can I ask everybody to stand to lend solemnity to the occasion? Okay. Please raise your right hand. I state your name. I, Chris Edwards, after being sworn in as a member of the Rotary Club of Makati,
being sworn in member of the Rotary Club of Makati,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will abide by and follow and uphold
that I will abide by and follow and uphold
all the provisions of the Constitution and bylaws of Rotary International,
all of the provisions of the Constitution and bylaws of Rotary International,
as well as those of my Rotary Club,
as well as those
and fulfill to the best of my ability
fulfill to the best of my
all the duties and responsibilities of my membership.
all the duties and responsibilities of my membership.
I pledge to advance the object of Rotary
I pledge to advance the object of Rotary,
and to exemplify Rotary's maxim,
to exemplify Rotary's maxim,
service above self.
service above self.
I further swear to promote awareness
Further swear to promote awareness.
of the theme of Rotary International
The theme Rotary International
in 2025-2026.
6.
Unite for good
Unite for good,
and of the duties and responsibility that go with it.
duties and responsibilities that go with it.
All these I pledge freely and voluntarily
All these I pledge freely and voluntarily,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation,
or purpose of evasion.
purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Great, thank you, thank you. Congratulations.
That's me.
Excuse me, please stay in front. Face in the.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Not yet. So you have more lunches, sir. And then the pre-industrial retreat. Different process. But yeah.
Hey, Aaron. Yes, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. But we're gonna make sure the numbers. After ba tayo may? Yeah. Leave it. Yeah. One more. Yeah, thank you. We will now proceed with the committee announcements. May we ask the committee chair or anyone from the audience would like to share any announcement? If no announcement, then we will proceed. We have one announcement.
I'll just do this instead of golf toning. On December 9, it's going to be our annual membership meeting. And then we will also have the canvassing of votes, no? Golf toning for the directors who will be serving Rotary years 2025 to 2026. So please go there. And if you cannot personally attend, then you have to accomplish a proxy form, which by now would have been distributed already by our secretariat. Okay, thank you. And also for, nandiyan yung file.
Okay na? President time.
Announcement. One more.
Okay. Now we have a special announcement from the Bayan Family Foundation. regarding their Grab a Seat program. May I invite Miss Nina Magalona to share more details with us.
Okay, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank the Rotary Club of Makati for inviting us to be here. On behalf of the Bayan Family of Foundations, we're very honored. Thank you, President Eddie Galvez and Sir Ron Dotaro. This opportunity allows us to present a program that hopefully we can partner with the Rotary Club of Makati. Okay, so allow me to introduce myself briefly. I'm Nina Magalona from the Bayan Family of Foundations. So we are an ecosystem of foundations. We are an ecosystem of foundations with a mission to uplift social enterprises and help social impact projects here in the Philippines. So for those of you who aren't familiar with social enterprises, social enterprises are essentially a business that is for purpose and for profit. So these businesses have the goal of addressing a social issue, and then they do so by offering a sustainable and profitable business model. So it affects more than just the entrepreneur themselves, but also communities and stakeholders. So that's basically what we do in Bayan Family Foundations. We support social enterprises, and then we help them carry out their social impact projects. Next slide. Okay, so Bayan Family is composed of 4 foundations, and basically we offer end-to-end solutions through those foundations. So everything from research and training to implementation in the grassroots communities, and also access to impact investing. So right now, we've been in the industry for over 30 years. We've partnered with many organizations ranging from government, big corporations, nonprofits and foundations to MSMEs and social enterprises and cooperatives. So we continue to look for organizations to partner with that have the same mission and of community development and nation building, which is why we're very honored and excited to be here connecting with Rotary Club of Makati, and hopefully we can potentially explore future collaborations. So one collaboration that has the potential to perhaps be something that we can work on together is what I'll be presenting today. It's called Grab a Seat. Next slide. So Grab a Seat, which stands for Social Enterprise Advocacy Tours. So it's an educational tourism program that builds awareness for social enterprises and inspires action within the broader social impact ecosystem. So how the program works is that we travel to different local and international destinations, and then we bring a group of participants with us, and the highlight of the trip is to visit social enterprises and cooperatives in that destination. So we meet the founders and the social entrepreneurs. We learn directly from them about their advocacies, their business models, how they engage with the rest of the ecosystem, how they get help from government, from financial institutions. So basically, all important insights that people can apply to their own businesses or organizations. So our goal is for participants to come home and apply those insights and ideas to their own organizations here. And of course, on top of the learnings, it's also a great opportunity for organizations to network with each other and hopefully build partnerships. So this is just a rundown of who we designed the program for. Social entrepreneurs, foundations, government agencies, basically all players in the social impact sector, including Rotary Club of Makati. So hopefully this is something that you'll find interest and alignment with. Okay, so for 2026, this is our rundown of destinations that we will be visiting next year. And we recently launched our first batch, which is Tokyo and Bangkok. So that will happen on Q1 2026. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I won't go through the details so much. But basically, this is what participants can expect when we visit these countries. So on your right side are the list of social enterprises that we'll be visiting. We try to keep it as diverse as possible. If you'll notice, these are enterprises come from different sectors and address different social needs because we want to be very beneficial to the participants who attend, which they usually come from different sectors also. And then we also seen here is the fixed package per participant, which already includes the airfare, accommodations, all the tours, and all the transportation. Basically, the only thing missing is just the meals. And then for organizations that send 5 participants or more, we also offer special rates, institutional rates. Okay, so Tokyo will be on Feb 17 to 23, and then Bangkok will be on March 24 to 30. Okay, so given all our plans, our goal really is simple. We just want to add value to all our organizations and partners. So for Rotary Club specifically, Rotary Club is already very well esteemed and long-standing in terms of humanitarian work and public service. So we just hope that Grab a Seat can complement that or further provide another avenue to deliver and to complement your social impact projects. So some ways we want to add value is one, we want to give the opportunity to Rotary Club of Makati members to learn about social and entrepreneurship because we really believe in the for purpose and profit business model and how it can change the lives of Filipinos. And in effect, this also supports Rotary Club's one of Rotary Club's 7 focus areas, which is community and economic development. And then further, we hope that Grab a Seat can also strengthen your current programs, especially those dealing with entrepreneurship, like the Hatch Project, which I understand is focused on young entrepreneurs. And lastly, this Grab a Seat could also be an avenue to build partnerships with like-minded organizations. Okay, so to end my presentation, I would just like to invite everyone here, all Rotary Club of Makati members, to join us for our Grab a Seat program. These are just some of the ways that you can get involved. So one is to first and foremost participate in our seat programs if it's something that aligns with your interests. We'd be happy to have you in our upcoming 2026 cohorts in Tokyo and Thailand. Second, we're very much open also to co-hosting a seat cohort with Rotary Club of Makati. So we can create an exclusive cohort for you wherein we really choose social enterprises that align with your advocacies and your current projects. And then we can also arrange for a special session with Rotary Club of that destination. And lastly, a new feature that we just added to our program is the chance to sponsor a seat for another participant. So since we launched this program, we actually had a lot of interest from small-scale entrepreneurs and cooperatives from the provinces who aren't able to, don't have the means yet, but would like to experience this kind of training. So that's another avenue to help and support Grab a Seat. So again, to end my presentation, I'd like to ask everyone to hopefully support us in our small scale, but hopefully big project in the coming year. And if you're interested, I'll leave my details here. You can email me or text me, or you can approach me later on if you have any questions. Thank you once again to Rotary Club of Makati for this opportunity, and we hope to see you next year in one of our seat tours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Magalona. President Eddie Galvez for your president's time.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our first gathering this December. Truly the most joyful month of the year. Of course, the city is aglow with lights, energy, and it's lively. And yes, the holiday traffic reminds us that Christmas is just around the corner. What a wonderful way to open the month by sharing a festival buffet lunch here at Escolta and by hearing from our distinguished guest speaker, Ms. Rosemary Rafael, whose insights on women's leadership and success in business promise to enrich and inspire us. Over the past 2 weeks, our club has been fully immersed in the district-level judging of the second Paila or Paeng Echanova Youth Leadership Awards. This year, we were thrilled to receive 84 outstanding nominations from all over the country. Clear evidence of the many young Filipinos who are already giving change in their communities. After the final submissions came in on November 14, our coordinators worked tirelessly to interview, listen to, and assess these exceptional youth leaders. Allow me to express my sincere appreciation to our hardworking club coordinators who made the district judging possible. For District 3730, I think it's here, Freddy Placino and Iggy Martinez, who traveled to Bulacan. 3780, Boya Teche, Don Lino, and Ken Vergano, who's here also, who joined the panel in Quezon City. District 3790, immediate past President Keith, and President nominee Chris Ferrareza, who participated online, and Makoto Numata, our new member, who made the trip all the way to Baguio. District 3800, District Secretary Louis Asioche, President-elect Howie Calleja, and Mike Del Carmen, who dedicated their Saturday at Club Filipino. District 3810, Johnny Ang, who joined online. District 3820, Ferdy Ordovesa, Bom Villatuya, and your MC Nikki Ramos at the RCM Clubhouse. District 3830, Aaron Mempin, who joined in the person, and Andre De Jesus, who joined virtually. District 3850, Director Paulo Turno, who flew to Zamboanga City to take part in the deliberations. District 3860, Director Derek Tan and Jay Bernardo, who participated online. And last but not least, District 3870, Past President Bimbo Mills, Neil Makashar, and Maxi Marty, who conducted the judging at the clubhouse. So thank you, gentlemen. These are 10 districts that participated. Your commitment upholds the integrity and the ideals of PILA. I also extend my gratitude to the district coordinators who have supported the program since we began last April, and to the PILA Executive Committee led by Pastor si Governor Sid Garcia. Sid, where are you? There you are. For their steady guidance and leadership. Later today, we move to the next stage as we select the finalists who will proceed to the national level. Their journey continues with the boot camp on January 28 to 29 and the much anticipated gala night on January 30, 2026 at the Manila Polo Club. I encourage everyone to save the date and join us as we celebrate our finalists and reveal the year's grand winner. This past weekend, several of us joined the Institute in Genting. That's me, past District Governor Sid, Governor Reggie, and past President and District Governor Pepito Bengson. A rewarding experience filled with learning sessions, leadership, conversations, and meaningful moments shared with fellow Rotarians from across the region. I was especially proud to see our AI Academy recognized during the program, a well-deserved acknowledgement of RC Makati's innovative spirit and forward-looking initiatives. My heartfelt thanks to past District Governor Sid Garcia, District Governor Reggie and Suan Nolido, past District Governor Peps Bengson, and past President Doris for joining us. I hope more members will join future international gatherings as they offer a broader understanding of Rotary's impact worldwide. And Sid and I spent Sunday afternoon, quite frankly, shopping. As we begin December, we also continue one of our club's most heartwarming traditions, the Last Angel Project. We opened this year's gift giving last Saturday at San Agustin Church in Manila, where we shared gifts with the children and families in our feeding program with Caritas Manila. Yesterday, we brought the same joy to our beneficiaries in Padilla and Tanay Rizal. During the Tanay visit, we also turned over 10 desktop computers to Rawang Elementary School, part of the 50 units donated by UST Global through Director Patrick Paruao. Maraming salamat. Please, to support our AI Academy. Almost done. More gift-giving activities are scheduled in the coming days, and I invite our members and aunts to join us. Of course, this initiative was started by former First Aunt Bryn Panilio, who's over there. Corner. Your presence brings warmth to the communities we serve, and the smiles you'll see in return are the true spirit of Christmas. My warmest thanks to immediate past First Anne, Rachel Harrison, for leading this year's Rachel, tayo ka naman. Last Angel Project, and to our Rotarians whose generosity made this possible. Before I close, I would again like to remind everyone of our annual members meeting on December 9, 2025 at 4 p.m. at the Manila Polo Club, followed immediately by a Christmas party. I would like to announce to the aunts that we have 3 independent judges for the costume, okay? Nobody from inside the club. 3 independent fashion judges. 2 women and one male. One is, I think, the owner of Karimadon, so during the meeting, I will present the state of our club and we will elect our new directors for the next 2 years. If you are unable to join us in person, we kindly request that you submit a proxy so we can meet our quorum requirements. We look forward to seeing all of you this December 9 as we come together for an important meeting and celebrate the season as one Rotary family. Maraming salamat po ulit and good afternoon.
Thank you very much, President Eddie. May we call in President PP Bing Matoto to introduce our speaker.
Good afternoon, friends of Rotary and fellow members. Kindly lend me your ears because I'm about to introduce a very special friend of ours. Our guest speaker is the visionary founder of the Airspeed Group of Companies. It is an end-to-end logistics and supply chain organization that she established 40 years ago. Under her leadership, Airspeed has grown from a pioneering Filipino freight forwarder into a global logistics player, now serving clients' requirements in more than 90 countries and employing over 1,000 people. A recognized advocate for gender-inclusive leadership, Rosemary has built an organization where 70% of the executive leadership team are, of course, women, reflecting her commitment to creating pathways for women to rise in traditionally male-dominated industries. She made history in 1996 as the first woman president of the Air Cargo Forwarders Association of the Philippines, and continues to champion women's economic empowerment as chairperson of the Women's Business Council of the Philippines from 2022 to 2026, and commissioner for labor of the Philippine Commission on Women. Her leadership excellence has been recognized across Asia and the world. Rosemary is a multi-awarded business leader, honored by the Asia CEO Awards, the Global FWN 100 Most Influential Filipina Women, the APEC Best Awards, the World Women Leadership Congress, the Italian Chamber of Commerce, and most recently, the Business Manual CEO Awards 2025 and EY Entrepreneur of the Year Philippines. Beyond business success, she is deeply committed to nation building, advancing women's leadership, supporting SMEs, and serving institutions such as the Filipina Women's Network and the G100 Club. Rosemary's decades-long dedication, resilience, and people-centered leadership continue to inspire the next generation of Filipino entrepreneurs and women leaders. Let's give our guest speaker, Rosemary Ut Rafael, a big hand.
Maraming salamat, PPD. Parang nabawasan yung talk ko kasi masyadong mahaba yung introduction mo. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, and I'm really honored to be here because I haven't attended any Rotary meetings for the past 50 years, actually, because my husband used to be a Rotarian way back. And so I am awed by how warm the people are, how they greet each other, how they support one another. And there's so many familiar faces I haven't seen for a long time, like the Panlilios. I met, Mita Sullivan long time ago in a business transaction. And also, of course, the Harrisons. Rachel is my friend and also a colleague in Women Business Council Philippines. And of course, Secretary Pascual. I've worked with Secretary Pascual because Women Business Council Philippines, of which I currently am the chairwoman, has an office in DTI because we work very closely with them. In fact, I traveled with Yusek Carol to Peru. Ang layo pala nun. Secretary Pascual, ayoko nang bumalik. Ang layo. Ha? Oo nga. So to Peru with, I'm sorry? Very nice. But far. I think it took me, I don't know how many hours to get there. And the altitude is quite high. And also, of course, Ronnie. Ronnie has been a friend for so long. And Ambassador Malik, who has been so supportive. We even went to Malaysia, to Kuala Lumpur for a trade mission. And of course, the ASEAN. And of course, we're going to be the ASEAN chair for next year, 2026. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that. So when PP Bing asked me to speak, I said, baka naubusan na kayo ng speakers, kaya akong kinukuha mo. Sabi ko ganyan. Kasi every week yata meron kayo di ba? Tapos sabi ko sa kanya, of course, I'd like to do that because PP Bing is the BFF of my BFF over there, Ida. So I said yes. But you know what? It just reminded me of what happened but about a month or two ago when Asia CEO asked me to be their keynote speaker. And you know what I said? I don't think I'm qualified. Keynote speaker, Asia CEO, how 800, 900 maybe CEOs or I said, I'm not qualified. So I told the one who asked me, I said, I'll call you back. But you know what? I realized that God will give us the provision when you have the vision. And I said to myself, I probably am not going to be asked by Asia CEO if I'm not qualified. So I'm going to do it. And sometimes in life, we do things that we probably are not comfortable with and we don't want to step out of our comfort zone. But I believe that when you step out of your comfort zone, that's when you are stretched and you're used to the full potential that God has given us. So I did it anyway, fearfully, but I did it anyway. And some people reach out to me in LinkedIn wanting to have a copy of my speech. And of course, PP Bing, when he read it, he wrote about it. No, you published it in Manila Tribune, right? And so who here would say that you are not qualified? We are all qualified when we step out of our comfort zone. When I started, I took up international studies, Secretary Pascual, because I wanted to be in the diplomatic corps. I wanted to be in the government, and all that at that time. And also because I didn't want anything that has any numbers in my college degree because I didn't really like numbers. But lo and behold, what happened? Now I run my own business. So I had to really learn numbers. And when I started in the logistics industry, there were no women. I was one of the few that you can count in your 5 fingers. And so it was quite difficult during that time because that's like 40, 45 years ago. Because they look at you as somebody who parang inutusan lang bumili ng suka. Can you understand English, sir? No, sorry, Tagalog. Tagalog? Oh, sige. Mag-practice tayo ngayon kasi magtatagalog din ako. Very good, konti lang. And also, Ambassador Malik, no? You have to learn Tagalog. So anyway, so this is one of the photos that I was really able to keep because I was the only woman then. And they were like older men. And they were looking at me as like, sino ka ba? Who are you? Why are you in this industry? When during that time, there was really no one who dared go in that particular industry. Then I was few years after I was awarded, I was voted as the first female president of the Air Cargo Forwarders Association. And that was, my competitors who voted for me. So that really speaks so much that they respected my position at the time. But you know what? As a woman, you really have to work doubly hard to really prove that you can really do it. Because then I was really working amongst men. So when what was the foundation? That's AI, PP being, see? That picture is AI. So when I said, okay, I have to put up my own business and all that, I started with 6 people and I had to learn. So I had to go to to AIM to study. Buti na lang my classmate, my seatmate and my roommate, because that was just MDP, the Management Development Program. She was the finance director of another company. So I was always talking to her, copying her notes. Notes, not the test. So I was copying her notes and all that. So I learned. And that really helped me with my foundation because I realized that in anything that we do, just like you, the Rotarians, you're meeting every week. You have projects every, I don't know how many. You have to have intentionality. You have to be committed to what you're doing. And if you don't, then nothing will definitely happen. So that's what I did. So through education and mentorship, and we just talk about mentorship. Who were my mentors then? Actually, business people who I look up to. But of course, they wouldn't have time to really have lunch with me or have breakfast with me. But I just persisted and have breakfast with them. And then they thought that I was just like looking at my phone and all that, but I was taking notes. I was taking notes of what they were saying. And one of the things that this mentor of mine always says that be hungry, be humble, and be focused. And that's what I did. Every time I have to look at a particular task, I focus. If I want something that's really difficult to do, I focus. But I multitask as well, depending on what kind of task you have. So, what are the early challenges? Limited opportunities in the passenger services role, because before I went to cargo, I was in the airline industry. At that time, my salary that time was 650 pesos per month. Naabutan niyo ba yon, Secretary Pascual? Hindi pa siguro, pero that time, konti lang. 650 pesos at that time. But then again, I pursued, I really worked on what needs to be done, and President Eddie has a travel agency, so you know how it is to be in the travel business. Then something happened, which I will discuss later on. But then the early barrier number 2 is operating in a male-dominated logistics sector where women founders are not that common. An early barrier is building credibility and scale from scratch. The company began small after a career pivot. During that time, face value lang eh. Hindi katulad ngayon that you have to have your bonds, you have to have a deposit and all that with the carriers, because I deal with the airlines as well. But during that time, it was face value. I didn't have money to come up with a bond. But now, the airlines, if you are producing like, let's say 5 million and you exceed the 5 million, they will not accept your cargo anymore. You have to put in, again, another set of whatever amount you have done. So it's really different now. So it was, when I started, I remember that I got to be in this business because in a freight forwarding company that's the biggest in the Philippines. But how did I get there? I wasn't planning. It's not as if I planned to be in business. One morning, I was on the phone, and then I was on the phone, and then my boss said, "Come in, we're going to have a sales meeting." And then I said, "Sir, I'll just finish my phone call." I went inside the sales room. It was locked. And then they opened it and they said, and my boss said, "You're not needed here anymore." But I was a new graduate. I was so new. Of course, what did I do? I cried. I went back to my table and I cried because I got embarrassed. Then the phone rang. When the phone rang, it was a call from a freight forwarding company, which was the biggest at the time, and then said, "Would you like to come for an interview?" Of course, I will say yes, because I was like so discouraged at the time. And that started my career in the cargo industry. 3 years after that, I also left that company. And my British boss then said, "Why are you leaving? Why do you want to be a small fish in a big pond?" And I just answered that, well, at least in a big pond, I will have room to grow. That company was the number one IATA agent in the Philippines then. Number one sila. But 5 years after, they were no longer number one. You know why? Anybody who would like to guess? They were no longer number one. Yes! Yeah, yes! I became number one, even for 1 year only. But I became number one for that year. So that was the turning point, which was a breakthrough moment. Because in life, we always have like adversities. But how do you use adversities to turn into opportunities? During COVID, Friday, I remember that was Friday. And then we were negotiating for a charter because I have a shipment that's coming in from Los Angeles to Manila. And it was like 12,000 kilos, 30,000. I needed to charter Manila to Cebu. Friday, I negotiated. I paid Monday. Tuesday happened. No commercial flights, lockdown. And I said, "What will I do? The shipment didn't come, but I have a charter there on the tarmac, and I don't have anything to load it with." But you know, when adversities like that happen, the thing to do is really to step back, and relax. And sometimes we panic, right? We panic when there's disaster, when there's a crisis. I step back and prayed and asked for discernment, download of discernment. And I realized, wait, I was the only aircraft that's going to fly out of Manila to Cebu. Everything is locked down. So I called the pharma companies who were not my clients then. And I said, "I have a plane." I said to tarmac, "I can load your cargo." And they didn't believe me. I had to take a picture of the plane and told them that I have a plane. And that was the start of our charters from Manila to Cebu and Manila to Davao and back and forth. It was full and loaded, and we were able to help the others who didn't have any means to bring their cargo in Cebu. Was that me? No. No, it wasn't me. During times like that, you really have to pray. When there's nothing else that you can do, you just have to pray. And that's what happened. And we started doing it. And I think we were the only freight forwarder during COVID that was moving. So great. That was a great moment. So quickly, what have we achieved? When I founded Airspeed, did I plan for it? Not really. Not really. But I said to myself, I really wanted to come up with something that will be impactful, that will help other communities and our people. So from 6, we're now almost 1,000. And that's like 40 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. But life happens. There are challenges all the time. It's up and down, up and down. But what do you do when you're down? What do you do when you're down? I'm sorry, sir? Exactly. Do not quit. Just relax. Do not quit. Do not stop. Do not. And I learned mental resilience because the key people, the CEOs, when they say it's lonely at the top, I guess it's true. I've experienced that. But then you really need to build mental resilience to be able to withstand challenges and to really make sure that your people are standing because you're standing. You cannot give up. You cannot be the first one to give up. Your people look up to you. Your people watch you. Your people hear you. And I'm not talking only about your people in the company, but your family and the communities that we serve. As Rotarians, you serve a lot of communities. You serve a lot of people. And when I was hearing about the 4 promise, yes, amazing. I just hope that everybody in this government can really do that kind of. Okay, so what happened? We continue to make it happen. We continue to make it happen. Do not stop. Keep on learning, because when leaders stop learning, you stop leading. And so, you are the lead, diba? The leaders are the lead to how you want your company to grow or how you're going to grow. So it's very important that you keep on learning. I read a lot of books. They say mentors, you cannot even talk to other people, but I watch YouTube. I watch other Netflix that's talking about leadership, or even read books. I read a lot of books. And so these are my guiding principles, which I'm sure is very important to all of you as well. Character, commitment, connectedness, communication, culture, and courage. But one thing that I can tell you is really more of the courage. The courage to pursue what needs to be pursued, the courage to lead, and the courage to step out of your comfort zone. Courage is really what I believe that made me go through everything or the challenges that went through. So success is not just about how you climb, but it's really how many have you pulled up with you? The people who are with you, like as Rotarians, that's what really you do as well. And aside from my corporate roles, I'm also with AWEN Philippines, which is the ASEAN Women Entrepreneur Network. I did not realize how I was able to go from one level to the next level to the next. In church, and my husband, by the way, is a pastor. And in church, I was asked to lead a Bible study. And the Bible study, okay, the Bible study is among young women. And I told myself, why do I have to lead these young women? Ano ba yan? And I'm so busy, I don't have time. But I did it anyway. Not realizing that after that, I had to go to the next level, which is really leading another set of women, middle-aged women. And I really enjoyed it because I learned from them as well. Not knowing also that from there, I became the president then of Women Business Council Philippines, which is really more challenging because the women then, and Ambassador, you know how the women are within the Business Council Philippines, and also Secretary Pascual Note. They are very opinionated, they are strong, and they are powerful, influential. How do you lead a group of women like that? But you know what? I was prepared. I believe God prepared me from handling the young women to the middle-aged women to handling the Women Business Council women, of which Rachel is also a member. It has been rewarding and very encouraging to have women with you. And right after that, I got appointed as Commissioner of Philippine Commission of Women. So what am I saying here? What I'm saying is that you have to accept what has been given to you to prepare you for the next assignment, for the next level, or for the next task. When I went to APEC, Peru, Secretary Pascual, I really was so uncomfortable because I was supposed to talk about the financial inclusion of Filipino women. And I really didn't know anything about it. And I will be talking to the ministers, but I prepared myself, I read, and I talked to Yuse Carol on what else to do. So, quickly, lessons from the front lines. Excellence is the best gender neutral advantage. Build relationships intentionally. When you're with your wife, be with your wife, be present because being present is a gift. Know your purpose and return to it often. I have a vision board. Every year I come up with a vision board. Have I accomplished this or not? And my advice to women in business, don't wait for permission. Create your own path. Build confidence before confidence because as I said, I didn't know how to do it. So I really don't have the confidence. So I have to build my competence. I have to know what I'm going to do. And surround yourself with believers and not doubters. Sometimes people will discourage you. Oh, you cannot do that. You cannot, you cannot progress in what you're doing. But what do we have to do? You have to believe in yourself. That's the first thing that we have to do. And so, build up people, empower them, and trust them. And we have to do things intentionally. Give your energy and attention to those who remain and stay faithful to the vision of the company. I want to live longer because of that. So I take care of myself. I have a routine in the morning. I wake up early. I used to walk with my BFF there all the time. But if I cannot walk because we live in the same place as past President Bing, I do treadmill 20 minutes a day, Pilates once a week, and then do my meditation and work, then eat my breakfast. It's a routine and I really love it because my energy is there. I always believe that consistency is better than intensity. If I can do 20 minutes a day, that's fine. Rather than doing 3 hours one day, and then the next exercise you have is 3 months from now. So I want to challenge the Rotarians because I know you have so many projects, but next year is going to be a year that we really need to build up the Philippines because we're going to have the ASEAN chairmanship. We're leading it for next year. And we'd like to be able to show our ASEAN neighbors that the Philippines is a country to reckon with. That there are so many things about the Philippines. So expanding opportunities to global engagement. We would like to be able, we're not a manufacturing country anymore, but we would like to be able to work on having our MSMEs from local to global. That we will be able to show our products globally. So we have to empower cross-border trade. What are the products that we are going to work on to be able to show the ASEAN region that we have good products? I remember, Secretary Pascual, when we were talking, you also talked about the culinary of the Philippines because when we talk about Indonesia, when we talk about Malaysia, we know what's really good there. And even the national dress. So we have to work on promoting also the Filipino products through our overseas communities, which will drive investments and will drive jobs here in the Philippines. So these are the different women programs. I know that PP being said, I have to finish before 2 o'clock or 30 minutes lang, but I can send you this, President Eddie. Amazing weaves. As you see, our weaves is actually a dying craft here in the Philippines. If you're going to compare ourselves to Malaysia, to Indonesia, to Vietnam, their national dress is really what they wear all the time. And this is a project that we would like to work on. And also the ASEAN Hub of Excellence and Gender and Development. Because here in Asia, we have 23 hubs. And Philippines, after all these years, only has one hub of excellence, which is biodiversity. So we're pushing for the Gender and Development Hub to be placed here in the Philippines. And of course, we're going to have the ASEAN Women Economic Summit, Leadership Summit, which we would like you to be part of. And this is going to be in November 2026. So My ask is be part of ASEAN 2026 in building up the Philippines in the ASEAN region. Together, let's empower regional growth through Philippine-led collaboration and private sector excellence. Maraming salamat po at ako'y nagagalak na naririto ko.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rosary Raphael. We're gonna do two quick Q&A for Ms. Raphael. Anybody? Questions? I know she talked about Pilates and exercises, so we we have 27 days to New Year.
Okay.
Any questions? Ambassador. Sir Melvin.
First of all, thank you, Rosemary. It's always a pleasure to listen to you and, of course, to learn from you. My question would be in terms of the current problems you're facing now in the Philippines. So you mentioned you went through it previously. So what would your advice be for businesses who are actually undergoing difficulties in especially trying to find finance and, of course, development, because the current economic situation is not as positive as it should be? What would you advise them to do? And of course, thank you for talking about ASEAN. I think what you're doing is amazing, and I hope you can continue to support ASEAN chairmanship in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency Ambassador. It can be discouraging to watch geopolitical risks happening and also economic situations and all that. But you know, as a private sector, because I'm still private sector, I just do what I can and not depend on whatever situation there is, and just continue to work on what I'm doing. That's our slogan, even for Women Business Council. We try to promote RCEP. We try to promote trade agreements within ASEAN. I can tell you that this year, I've traveled almost every month to promote the Philippines. Self-funded, ha? Kasi hindi naman ako government. But we went to Malaysia, promote Philippines, Vietnam, 90 people delegation. So as a private citizen, this is all we can do, because we cannot really complain about what's going on right now, because that's something we don't have any control of. So we do what we can control. Thank you, Ambassador.
And we head to PP Junjun. No, you?
Okay.
Okay, one.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations for your presentation. I'm very impressed. Sorry, my French accent. So I just wanted to ask you, because you study at AIM, like me, in fact, and what do you think if you could go to AIM and propose your teaching, a bit for some courses? Would you like to do that?
Of course, anything that I can work on, I will help. Sharing your stories is something that can encourage other people as well, because this country will really definitely be needing all the encouragement and all the help and all the support.
Yeah, because I think your experience is really exceptional. As you said, you started from scratch, sorry, and then you end up doing so well. So I think, to me, I've been to the Philippines for a long, long time, and I'm quite impressed by the country. And although I'm French national, but for me, the number one country for me is Philippines. And I can see the potential. Yeah, I can see the potential, and it's really a pity for me to see what is happening, not recently, but over the past few years, because obviously Philippines can be one of the number one, number two in Asia, and then I think Philippines needs somebody like you to show what to do and to explain what to do. So please go to AIM and give a course, and I will join you as a student.
Thank you, Sir Raymond. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, merci beaucoup, Junjun Dairit, PP Junjun Beret.
Je parle un peu français.
Yeah, Madam Rosemary,
po.
thank you. Despite the fact that we already had two lady presidents of the country and one lady vice president, do you think there is still really a barrier
to women attaining higher leadership positions in in the corporate world and even in politics? And if you think so, why?
Sir June, wow, that's a long, there's a long answer to that. But then in here in the Philippines, we don't even have a Ministry of Women or a Department of Women and Development. In other ASEAN countries, just like Malaysia, you have a Minister of Women and Family. Indonesia, they all have the ministries except the Philippines. But then if you're going to look at the gender mainstreaming, the Philippines has a strong one. The women, especially here in Metro Manila are very strong. We have to just work on the rural areas. And what are the barriers? Okay. In the board, in Malaysia, they have a rule that I can't remember the percentage, but 12%, 50% has to be women in the boardroom. Here, we don't have any rules of that. So we just have to lobby for that. And I believe that there are differences, okay, men and women. Women are more nurturing than men, but men are stronger and firmer. But I believe that the barriers are basically because of the policies and the rules that have been set, especially for the leadership of companies. For politics, I believe that there is a chance that we will have another woman president. I believe that. And I think one of the things as Rotarians that we really have to work on is to really come up with an advocacy for good governance in the next coming election. We need to be able to make sure that we elect the right people. And this is an advocacy that I would like to encourage not only the Rotarians, but your friends to work on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PP Jun.
Congratulations on very interesting talk, Rosemary. As you know, the Philippines has been very uncompetitive compared to our neighboring countries because of the high cost of logistics. I think it's 27 to 30% higher than our neighboring countries. As somebody well immersed in logistics, I'd like to encourage you, to find solutions to this problem. Yun lang.
Thank you, Secretary. But that is so true. Our shipping costs within the Philippines is even higher than Manila to Hong Kong or Manila to Singapore. Why? I go back to the infrastructure. China to Manila, the government supports or has incentives for the shipping lines and the airlines to fly out of China. They give something like 500 RMB per kilo to the airlines. But we don't have those incentives. And that is something that we would like to work on so that we can be competitive, because the competitiveness of the Philippines is not there anymore. Even for the free trade agreements, like if, let's say, we ship out coconut from Manila to Mexico, 15% tariff. Vietnam to Mexico, 0% tariff. So all these things that we have to work on. But again, it's a work in progress. There's so many things that we have to really work on. And you are so right, Secretary Pascual. I hope you can help me lobby with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much again. We have a simple gift from President.
Yeah, one last question, Ut. Earlier you mentioned that it's not that easy to deal with an organization with strong women. I don't know if you're aware, but our Rotary Club is one of the very few clubs who do not have women as members. And I'm not too sure exactly
in equal right.
the origin of that particular practice that we have. Well, of course, we like to say that nobody really wants to apply in our club. What can we do? Maybe we're not that attractive an organization for women to apply with. But seriously speaking, what advice would you give a man in an organization that is dominated and even led by a very strong woman, or for that matter, in a family where the wife has a very strong personality and, in fact, I wouldn't say dominate, but strong personality, quite influential? That's why I'm asking her opinion. That's why, what would be the answer?
Parang napaka-deep nung question mo, PP Bing, ha? Is it happening to you right now?
Ah, come on, BB.
Yeah, so in love, and my friend is also so in love. So love conquers all. So that's not gonna happen, right?
Yes,
Love
yes.
conquers all. So it's really more of communication. To me, it's really having real conversations. Like sometimes if I talk to you, Sir Raymond, I'll say, uh, you did something to me that I really did like, but I won't tell you. I'll just give you the silent treatment. How would you know, right? Yeah, how would you know? Silent treatment, bahala ka. But the best talaga, and I've learned that also dealing with my husband, who's very quiet, no, to have real conversations, huh? Real conversations. Even in companies, you have to tell them the way it is, without really being okay. There's a difference between being kind or good and being nice. When you're nice, you're nice. You're nice to everything, even if you're being abused, even if people are taking advantage of you. But being good is really, again, I go back to your 4 promises or whatever. Is it fair? Is it, equal opportunity or something? So that's being kind. And you have to have your boundaries. Even as husbands and wives, you have to have your boundaries. Like uh, I wake up early, my husband wakes up late. So we have like an ante room where if I have to work, I have to do something, then I'm in the ante room so that he can still sleep. Because if I do my calling and everything inside the room, baka divorce na kami ngayon, di ba? Okay. So did I answer your question, PP?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have the president response.
Well, first of all, I don't know about you guys. I admitted a long time ago who the CEO in my house is, so I have no problems. Anyway, from a ticketing and reservations agent to a logistics company president, that is how our speaker described in one of her company's write-ups. She has led her company to be one of the leading logistics providers in a highly competitive and male-dominated industry. From a humble beginning of 6 employees and 1 van, her company now leads in pioneering sustainable logistics with eco-friendly practices and green tech integration, and has grown to over 1,000 skilled personnel and a field of vehicles. Speaks volumes of her grit, determination, commitment, and persistence, as well as her vision of leading her company to execute best business practices. Thank you for spending time with us today and sharing your valuable insights. And as a small token of our appreciation, I present you this plaque. We have a reef bud project in Narvacan. And one of the reef buds will be planted in your name. And while you're working at home, while your husband is sleeping, you can have a bottle of wine. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll adjourn the meeting. Okay, with that, meeting is adjourned. See you in the Christmas party and the AGM meeting.
Thank you so much.
We have a raffle for the Macallan. And the winner is you're gonna stay for the holiday here. Wow. We got Tito Panlilio, the winner. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, okay. Just clarifying.